Hello. No poor. Thank you for the reminder. What the heck? Hold on. I am from the United States, in the greater Chicago area. That's where I'm from. Tonight, guys, we are just getting to know each other. Hi, Star Annis. I like that name. I really do. Feel free to ask me questions, to respond. I'm going to be setting up some stuff here in just a second. Hello, Carry Me Through. For a living, I do YouTube, even though at this point I'm not getting paid. What I want to know is, where is everybody else from? Obviously, I know where Star Annis is from, and I know where Carry Me Through is. Whoops. How is everybody? Give me a second, guys. I know I'm being quiet, but give me a second. we're gonna I promise we are going to get started and really get going and really start chatting and whatnot. I'm still maybe a little slow when it comes to chatting. I don't know. Whereas I am starting up a poll. I swear, I'm not usually this slow at getting lives going. Cis male means that I was born a male. Hi, Heidi Jones. What's unique? I don't know what I'm supposed to sound like, I guess. I sound like me. Jeremy, look at my pinned comment. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to sound like. Hey, Jesus. Am I pronouncing that right? I feel like I'm not. This is my page, Ralph. This is basically just going to be sort of a get to know me because I did not have time. I had a family thing come up out of the blue, and so I did not have time to prepare for live for today. So you can ask me questions as long as they're ones I'm going to answer. Did I not pin it? Maybe I didn't pin it. Now it's there. Sorry, y'all. I do apologize for that. Sometimes I forget. We had a family thing come up, that's all. Why are you making these videos? Are they for people to remember you in this fashion? I go live to talk with people about nature. That's why. Is it wrong? And the lives are an extension of that. Just issues with getting everything lined up. I'm happy. As long as I'm not having to deal with other people's issues. Okay, guys. I feel like I've those are so that's a good question. Mopor. That's a good question. So that's my collection. One of my collections. And they are these things. It's all animal figures. Some of them are these. Egg. I usually stream for about an hour, depending upon how many people are chatting. Sometimes we go a bit longer. I live in the United States. I don't know. These are the way I reach out to people. Hey, raccoon. So, I feel like this thing keeps giving me the same questions. It's not a raccoon. It's a ring-tailed lemur. I don't like these questions. Oh no. I hope it doesn't get too bad. Storms are not my favorite things. I do. I do get out and see nature. That's why I'm so into it. I don't know. Wesley the fisherman, I don't know. Do you guys have something? What's a small act of kindness that you guys have seen recently? if you could see any place on earth, where would you go if it were your last? I don't know. Maybe I don't have the ability to go a lot of places, so I don't know the answer to that one. I am not a vegetarian, no. Fun fact. I have a very deep respect, though. If I didn't have to worry about getting there or the money behind it, maybe the Everglades or the African savanna. That'd be cool. I do like Godzilla. I don't have a lot of figures, but I do like Godzilla. So, I do love to visit the zoo. I'm not into cars. I don't even drive. Wow, I don't usually have this many questions when I normally do a Q&A. Porcupines are cool. Oh, always check the channel if you want to know if I'm live. I don't know. I love, I guess cats. I like people on my terms. And cats are sort of the same way. They will seek out loving on their terms, and that's me. I think sea bunnies are like sea slugs, or a type of sea slug. I know what pumpkin seed is. I think that's like a bluegill. No, I don't. People can be evil, but I don't believe that animals are evil. No. I don't think animals follow their instincts. Predators are going to be predators. Animals defend themselves, but people, on the other hand, people can be evil. By choice. It's been posted, Jeremy Battle. People are I think animals can I don't believe that animals are capable of being evil. We place that term on them. Yeah, that happens sometimes, Raccoon. But I don't think in the long run, I don't animals rely on instinct. For instance, when a tiger cannot hunt because it's sick or because it's injured, they may turn to easier prey. Easier prey sometimes turns out to be people. That doesn't make them evil. That makes them an animal. But a person going out and doing some of the things that people have done because they're choosing to be, that is where I have an issue. Now, we might see an animal do something and think, oh my gosh, that is so wrong. But I don't think that makes them evil. I think it makes them, because I tell you what, hold on. Okay, let me let me read you in 1996, hello Carla. In 1996 something happened at Brookfield Zoo that proves that animals are not evil. A boy at Brookfield Zoo was visiting with his parents. They were in the gorilla house. And he got through the barrier and fell 24 feet into the gorilla enclosure. He was 3 years old, fell into the gorillas. He was unconscious. A 160-pound gorilla came over to him and picked him up. Cradled him in his arms and then carried him to the service store. The child was very carefully sat down, and then she walked away. There were 6 other gorillas in that exhibit. None of them, she could have very easily, could have hurt that kid. But she didn't now. I don't know if this made a difference. But she had a 17-month-old baby herself. And that's not the only incident of that happening. There's another story from the state of Colorado where a kid was lost in the woods. He was out hiking with his dad. It had started to snow. Carry me through. Please report YouTube banned. And then please report YouTube banned, and then hide him or hide them, please. Thank you. And anyway, this young man, hi Froz, this young man was in Colorado. It was cold enough. He got lost, separated from his dad while out hiking. He got lost, sat down, and in the morning, when the rescuers found him, there was snow on him and around him. There was a spot right next to him that had no snow on it. Do you want to know why there was no snow on that spot? An elk, a female elk, No, he wasn't covered. A female elk sat down beside him and kept him warm. Her body heat kept him warm. Now, I don't know. I don't have much experience. I don't have much experience with elk. Okay? I've always been told animals avoid people. And if that animal were evil, it wouldn't have done that. It would have smelled him and knew that he was human. It could have done anything to him, but it didn't. Now, I want to touch on something else real quick. I firmly believe every living thing, from trees to plants to animals, they all have some type of soul at some level. And call it a soul, call it a spirit, whatever you want to call it. And we have a soul. It's a connection. I'm not saying that, every time that you have an encounter with an animal, that's a part of it, but animals definitely know. There's some animals you don't want to meet in a dark alley. But animals can choose. They do create bonds. But, like anything, I can tell you, I used to keep tarantulas. And some days my animals were fine, and other days, nope. It takes one time. I just want to say that when people come in and they say that they can tell that I'm a special person, you don't know me. Yeah, well, I don't know, carry me through. I think animals, for instance, here's another thing. I don't believe they're evil. I don't believe an animal's evil. People have the potential to be evil. But just because an animal just because an animal does something to a human doesn't make that animal evil. If I am walking along a river or a lake in Australia, I am no different than a kangaroo or rabbit or anything else that might be a food source. If I get grabbed by a crocodile because I'm walking along a lake or a river, or I decide to go swimming in a lake or a river, that's my choice. And that animal that grabs me, I'm no different than a kangaroo, a horse, or anything else that might come to the water. If I purposely went into one of my tarantula tanks to do something and I get bit, they can read emotions. But apes are different, Jeremy Battle. Apes are different. But apes are animals. I mean, for another example, not really an example, but venomous snakes can choose to inject venom or not inject venom. The problem is, do you really want to find out? Chimpanzees are known to carry out hunts on monkeys. Is that cruelty or is it survival? If I'm swimming in in California, Australia, or maybe South Africa, if I'm in the water and there's seals in the water, and I know that, and I go swimming anyway, and a shark bites me, is that shark evil because it bit me? Exactly. I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I may not survive that bite, but it's not its fault. Radisson, not the place. There is potential anytime you leave your house. No. Politics have no place in my life. We are just getting to know each other. We're just getting to know each other. Hold on, guys. Christopher Bone, if you don't like it, you can walk. Hold on, guys. Christopher Bone, you're being rude. People do it because people. It goes into what we were talking about earlier. People are mean to people because they choose to be mean. That's what it boils down to. Hi, Caesar. It's like racism. Right? Why are people racist? Because they choose to be. I don't blame. No, I don't believe that either. My first figure. Thank you, Caesar, by the way. This was the first one of this type. This was the first of this type. And then the first Godzilla was my actual Godzilla figure. But I have had animal figures all my life. Very cool. I wish my grandpa did. That'd be so cool to have some figures. But that is a mix of all types of animals, from Ice Age to, or Mesozoic animals to Cretaceous and Jurassic and a little bit beyond. No, mine are not carved. Mine are plastic. They're store-bought. Well, not from the store, but actually, that's not entirely true, because this was store-bought. This was store-bought. And this was store-bought. Everything else was bought online. Very cool, Caesar. I wish I knew how to do wood carvings. I wish, but probably not going to. That's okay. My newest figure? This is another example of when I could really use a pointer. I think David Batts. That is unacceptable. Coming into my live talking like that, it ain't happening. No how, no way. This is a Irish elk. Caesar, we're not repeating it. That I think this is the newest. One of the newer ones, anyway. Yes, there is a snow leopard. Not one I like, but I have a snow leopard. I just don't like the face. There's probably I don't know, I haven't counted. I could easily have 100. No, Caesar, I don't. I'm pretty sure it's Bandai. One of these days I'll count them. Maybe I'll count Sunday. Caesar, what's your favorite Godzilla figure or monster? Cool. I only have the one. Kong is cool too. I don't have a King Kong yet. But I do have this. And I can envision that walking through the island. Or maybe this. Or maybe that. But my favorite is probably King Caesar, Mecha King Ghidorah, Gamera, and Space Godzilla. I like their looks. I'm not even sure which Gamera I have a Gamera and a Gauss, but I think they're a later version. Altogether, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I have 20 Godzilla figures. I really enjoyed Star Trek I only have one Godzilla. But one of my favorite sci-fi movies of all time, it's sci-fi fantasy, is sorry guys. I'm pretty sure this is the original. But the Star Wars movies are pretty cool. I also like Huh. I like Star Wars. I like Star Trek. I think this Godzilla is the original Godzilla. I'm also a little bit of a geek. My nephew got me playing Godzilla Battle Lines. Oh. Christopher Bone. What the heck? I don't even know what to call that. Well, that little comment got him reported. Very cool, Jeremy Battle. I've never met anybody famous that I know of. Let's see. I got an airplane. Hello, Baron 66. Bye, Caesar. Were you able to get an autograph or? That we're just chatting. Probably for not too much longer, but you are welcome to join in and chat or not. That is something I would love to do someday as Comic-Con. To be honest, it'd be different. Anybody ever go to any like Comic-Con things? Anybody play video games? My niece likes to go, but her and her husband are really into it. They dress up, the whole 9 yards. I done heard about you. Okay, you heard about me. Where did you hear about me? And I'm telling you now, depending upon what it is, if it is not like, if it goes against what I put, yeah, that's what I was going to say. But second of all, if it goes against anything that's in my pinned comments, you're probably going to find yourself reported. If it goes against it. So you may want to keep it to yourself, depending upon what it is. Because most of the time, stuff that people are screaming about is false. So a social experiment. Yeah. Smoke. Goodbye. You're not going to be the one either. At this point. Do not spam my channel. Man alive. I don't know what happened the last couple minutes. It's been kind of cuckoo. Yeah, just about. Bye, guys. Be good. On this, you follow my lead. Anyway, guys, good night.